So let's move it along. Here's who's eating good in the neighborhood outside of Joe Flacco, of course. And it is these rookie quarterbacks who just continue to win. Jayden Daniels, he had the Hail Mary that was heard around the world. It was sensational. You guys broke it down such a fun way on the post-game show. Rod, I'll start with you. What have you seen from Daniels, now 6-2 as a rookie starter?
Jack, I am so impressed with this young man, his willingness and his toughness to get out there when he's got ribs. I mean, he could have easily just said, you know what, I'm just going to chill for the next couple of weeks. But this guy got out there, sore ribs. It's tough to play. That's a tough injury to play with. But he gave his team a spark and the leadership that this young man brings. And you know, we're going to talk about all these rookie quarterbacks, but the one thing that all these rookie quarterbacks have brought us is hope. It brings the team hope. And I just have a lot of respect for this young man, the way he carries himself, the toughness, and the fact that his teammates feel like they can win any game with this young man. Coach?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you look at any quarterback, what you want to see poise, you want to see an understanding of the game, and you want to see accuracy. And Jayden Daniels has all three. And we talked about Anthony Richardson. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he played 14 games in college. These guys, Jayden Daniels started 40-some games. You know, all these quarterbacks that are doing well have experience, and they're playing like veteran guys. They're not playing like rookies. And Daniels, that's the big thing I would say about him. He's playing like a veteran.
Mm-hmm. This thing too, Coach. Just think about this, Coach. A young guy comes in, the Washington Commanders, that whole organization was an absolute mess. They clear everybody out. They bring in a young man. This could have took 4, 5, 6 years. You never know what it could have taken. But he comes in, automatic. He shows that he's a leader. He's one of those young guys. He can relate to everyone. Whether it's a veteran player, whether it's a young guy, whether it's a coach in the locker room, he does all the extra things. This is what they're telling me. Terry McLaurin loves him. Now he's getting more passes and more opportunities. So the Commanders, they knocked it out the park. They got their quarterback for the next 10, 15 years, no question.
Daniels has brought belief and he's brought hope. They now think they can win. And that is such a big, big deal.
Yeah, 55 starts for Daniels in college. And I think he benefited, too, from the transfer over to LSU and not only having to meet new teammates, be in a new environment, but also elevate to that next level, that higher level of college football is a nice stepping stone on his way to the NFL. So he's beat the Giants, the Bengals, the Cardinals, Cleveland, Carolina, and Chicago with the Hail Mary, which gets us to Caleb Williams.
Good defenses.
There's some good defenses in there for sure. He's 5-3 as a starter, talking about Williams. He's beaten the Titans, Rams, Carolina, and Jacksonville. Those are the recent wins for him. How do we think about Caleb Williams now coming off that loss? You could see the frustration on his face when that Hail Mary was caught, Coach.
What I loved about him, he didn't have a great game. And, you know, a lot of quarterbacks in that situation would press, try to do something, make a mistake. But he is playing within the system. He's growing. And again, he's given his team a belief that they can win, even when he's not playing great. And I just think all of these young quarterbacks have done so well this year. But Caleb Williams is just getting better and better every week.
Yeah, it's a little concerning to me with Caleb Williams at times, Coach, because at times you see how bad the accuracy is. And it's him, whether it's overthrowing a guy, underthrowing a guy, and saying, where the heck is he throwing the ball to? And then still holding on to the ball too long. And another thing that I noticed too is when you watch the game, a lot of times he's not on the same page as his receivers. There's some miscommunication, guys running routes. You know, he's thinking they're going to go to the outside, they go to the inside, those little things. But overall, to be able to be the number one pick, handle everything the way he's handled everything, shown maturity, and continue to grow over the course of the season, I like the way he's carried himself, and he's learning how to play football in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm. All right, how about with Drake May? So he's now 1-2 as a starter. He left the game early, left the win early, I should say, over the Jets. We've seen a little glimpse of him, Rod. What's your thoughts so far of the New England rookie?
Well, I was excited for him, man, because he really showed some poise behind one of the worst offensive lines in all of football. But he also showed some accuracy, man. He's throwing the ball down the field. If they can protect him and surround him with some more talent, they might have a solid quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's going to be Tom Brady, anything like that. He has a ton of growth that he has to do. But what I've seen in there, Coach, he seems like he's smart. He seems like he's poised. And he seems like his teammates, they trust him and they have faith in him. They just need to get more protection for this young man and also more talent around him, Coach.
Boy, you hit it right there. You look at Jayden Daniels, and he's got some weapons around him. They've got a good offensive line protecting him. In Chicago, they've got some weaponry in that receiving core. Drake May doesn't have that same type of team around him, but he's playing well. He's showing the athleticism. He's showing the heart, and he's given this team some hope.
Yeah. How about Bo Nix over there with Denver? He's now 5-3 as a starter. It's crazy. Look at all these wins for these rookies: 8 touchdowns, 5 picks, but he has 4 rushing touchdowns too. Talking about Nix, wins over Tampa, the Jets, Vegas, New Orleans, and Carolina. Are we believing in Bo Nix? Coach, I know you know him from the days at Oregon.
Yeah, he's another guy who's played a lot of football, had to learn 2 systems, played a ton at Auburn, then went to Oregon, learned a different system there. He's a guy that his teammates love. They believe in him. He's mentally tough. He's physically tough. And he's learning the game. But he is showing again that, hey, Denver, we've got a quarterback that we can believe in. We've got a quarterback that can lead us. And he's rallied the troops there.
Absolutely, Coach. I love this kid. Every time you talk about him, I just smile because he's a smart kid and he plays with an edge. You know, his teammates have a lot of respect for him. And you talked about the key word, Coach. You talked about toughness. That's what he brings. And just seeing this kid, it almost seems like he sees the field better than Caleb Williams sees the field. I mean, this kid is always, he's outside the pocket. He keeps his vision down the field and he actually sees the field. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him continue to grow with Sean Payton and, especially with everything that Sean Payton can do for a quarterback. And you can ask Drew Brees what he's done for him, turn him to a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Rookie quarterbacks, gentlemen, 17 wins this season. Second most by rookie quarterbacks through 8 weeks since 1950. So what do you think it is? Why do you think that these rookies now are having more success? Is it this class in particular? Is it the mobility? What can you put your finger on what it is, Coach? I'll start with you.
Well, it's a couple of things. Number one, these guys have come in having played a lot of football. Other than Drake May, these are 4-year, 5-year starters in some case. They're going to good offensive teams. Cliff Kingsbury in Washington has done a great job putting a system in for Jayden Daniels. Rodney talked about Sean Payton, so that helps you too. And I just think it's a maturity level with these guys.
Yeah, I agree with you, Coach. I think I think it's just the players that we have, the individuals, because these kids, they're different, man. Just the way they walk around. The level of respect that their teammates give them, the way they carry themselves, their commitment to learning the system, coming in early, staying all day, spending time with their teammates, all these things. Those are the things that have really impressed me. But I'm most impressed with Jayden Daniels and the job, and Bo Nix and the job that they're doing. And Coach talked about it. Bo Nix is learning and he's growing with Sean Payton. And that could be scary for the AFC West.
It can be. And to your point, Rod, they lost their first 2 games, talking about Denver. They're 0-2. Then they had that road trip, and they were going to stay on the East Coast and all that. They won 5 out of their next 6 games.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.